Jennifer Hogan and I work at Motion Property in Albert Road, South Melbourne. So we look after downsizers and investors and owner-occupiers, because that's where the market's been swinging to. Investors less at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, can you tell us what you were doing from a lead generation perspective before we started working together?
Well, Motion Property has been established for some time, so they created a very large database. So in the ways of doing EDMs, it was becoming less and less of a function that was reliable. So we were doing a number of Facebook and digital leads as well. However, most of the leads weren't qualified, and so it was quite frustrating from the sales consultant's point of view, because the numbers were there, but the leads either didn't respond or were unqualified to buy.
Yeah. Cool. And were you guys doing that yourselves, or were you using a third party? Yeah.
Well, we did we did use a third party for some digital marketing, but generally speaking, we've got a marketing a young lady here who's fabulous, but we can't do everything, and that's, I think, been prompted to contact you, James, and roll forward a new campaign.
Yeah, no, for sure. And how did the guys go with having to talk to every single lead that came through, like the sales guys? What was their response?
Previously?
Yeah, previously, like when they were getting people not picking up, and how did that all work?
Well, actually, it was even worse during the lockdown, because of course they were all isolated in their little cocoons at home and getting frustrated. So I would get a number of calls saying, this is ridiculous, there's no response. And so despondent, in a word, is something that comes to mind. Yeah.
And obviously despondent about the people not picking up. Were they finding as well, the ones that did pick up, a lot of them would forget that they even signed up, and
Oh yes, and that, who are you? Where are you from? Why are you calling me? Yeah, all of that.
Yeah, cool. All right. So what was it that made you? What were you guys worried about before you started working with us, and what ultimately made you go, yeah, stuff it, we're going to give these guys a go?
Not so much worried, I suppose, because you did outline some previous successes, so therefore we were more than confident. One of the things that with digital marketing we have found is that it's all a bit secret, and we're just real estate agents. We just want to deal and make sales, and so we have to actually believe, and the whatever came through was a little bit less than what we'd be happy with. Then when you outlined how you manage and create the lead, or the leads come through and then you qualify the leads, it actually did give both Ariel, my boss, and I a lot of confidence. I must admit, not the word cynic, but sometimes oh, really? Anyway, I suppose we were delighted that it was quite refreshing with a very upfront approach. Yeah. Your team are fabulous. They keep us informed every step of whatever we're doing. Send some reminders if we haven't sent something forward. But in addition to where we spoke the other day, actually, James, Caroline's made another sale as well. So
that's good.
And I must admit, I won't say, but she's got a real skip in a step. Because, she's gone from being very frustrated to now understanding. Still, in all argument, we still have to go through some not qualified clients as well to get to the good ones.
Yeah, 100%. That's fantastic. Well, let's talk about the numbers. So, end of month one, you've had 2 sales. What can you talk us through the rest of your numbers?
Yeah, with regards to where we're at. So we've got another 17 in finance to get approval, or at least a borrowing capacity. And then then we can start talking the property and location, what have you. So out of them, don't get too excited. We're not expecting 17 are all going to be qualified, but we're hoping to be able to work with the ones that will be qualified. And then the others will put them on some sort of path to get to maybe rolling into first half of next year for something. And that's the beauty. We're able to actually follow up. But also some of the clients that have got on your spreadsheet optional follow-up by agent, there's a couple of little good possibilities in there too.
Right.
Whether or not they didn't know how to answer the questions, the qualifying questions, but it's turned out quite good that we can see that, and that's another item of transparency that's indicated to us that it's all, a partnership and we're all hands on the table, open-handed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how many sales do you think you might get out of the 16 at finance and the couple that are optional follow-up?
Sound like my boss.
Taking notes.
Yeah, taking notes. So, look, we've got a target for 12 by the end of the year. And as I say, we've done 2 already. Arbab, one of the consultants, is also working with about 4 others currently. We're just waiting on some property and floor plans for his opportunities as well. So I think we may just scrape in, because we've only got 63 days till the end of the home builder grant.
Yeah. So from those first month of leads alone, you guys are feeling like 12 may be achievable just from month 1.
Yes.
That's all.
Yes.
That's great. That's awesome. So that well and truly justify the expense. I was looking at the numbers. I think we had 341 leads in month 1, over 100 book calls, and then to go from 100 book calls down to 12 sales. Mm-hmm. That would be a fantastic result.
Because I think, in honesty, we are working on about 2/3 plus a little bit being they're speaking. A lot of the ones that don't answer the first time, we then call them back and we might get a response then.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to have a follow-up process. Yes. So how have you guys gone with the system, our system? Because it is different to how you've been working before, and there were a few little teething issues in the early days. Talk us through how you guys have adapted your style, how you guys work to working with our system.
Well, when a new initiative comes forward, we all understand that there may be a few little teething issues. So we did have that. However, just discussing with the sales agents not to expect someone to be fully qualified is a big understanding that's important. Qualifying for the income and the savings, not to expect to be qualified ready for purchase with a borrowing capacity and a bank pre-approval. And then we've been working with several brokers that have been able to work very quickly for us and get response to us to then bring the formal qualification forward, ready to go to a contract.
Yeah, cool, great. And was there something with our system that you didn't really appreciate or understand before signing up with us that you think might be useful to highlight for someone thinking about using our product?
Well, importantly, from a sales manager's point of view, is your spreadsheet. Because at any one time I can click in, because it's live, and I can see how many calls, how many bookings, and I already know, of course, because the sales consultants are excited enough to call me. And from there, that's where I certainly didn't expect that sort of accountability, which is easy for me to target and respond to and help the consultants. And hence, that's offered Ariel and I a thought process to consider another campaign for a different product.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm excited about that, doing, a second campaign with you guys running alongside. I think it's all about the data. You need to be able to be measuring your numbers, and so we're obviously big on that. And so it's good for anyone thinking about using us, especially if the person paying the bills isn't the person selling or isn't close to the selling, to see what your money is being used for and to work out your ROI. It's very clear in terms of the number of people getting through book calls, finance, face-to-face, sales, etc.
Correct. And without the first connection, we wouldn't have that data. And so it's just everything then just flips around, and we can't qualify it into a category. Now we can. It's really, really good.
That's brilliant. Anything else that you think would be useful for someone who's sitting on the fence with using us?
Well, as I say, it was actually a very refreshing change, and I think that's the big difference. You're not hiding anything. There's no secrets. It's all about, this is how it is. This is what we need you to do, i.e. your client, us. And it keeps us accountable to give you what is best, and then you decide the target and the campaign, and then we're on the receiving end of the lead. So it's a refreshing change.
Great. Well, we're loving working with you guys. You clearly can sell and close, so let's get those sales in before the home.
Yeah, the home. However, some of the clients that RBUB's working with too, they don't actually qualify for the home builder, but they're fine. They just know that this is what they want, and RBUB's been able to source the property for them, and that's what makes everybody happy. There's no pressure on them, but they're happy to do the sales as well.
That's great. Awesome to hear. All right. Well, thank you, Jennifer.
Pleasure. Thanks, James. See you next week. Bye.